Hey family, this is Dr. Dez. It's another Motivational Monday, and we're here just to encourage you to keep on living the best life that you possibly can. Make those differences, those changes in your life that are important to you. And this series is actually entitled Changing Your Narrative. Changing Your Narrative. Last week, we talked about conducting that self-inventory and how important it is that you are honest with yourself as you conduct your self-inventory, because it's all about changing you. You never want to shortchange yourself when you're looking at changing you, right? So begin with the self-inventory, and then the next step is to encourage you to live in your truth. Now, what does it mean, Dr. Daz, for me to live in my truth? To live in your truth simply means that you're looking at your life as your life truly is, and you're doing your very best to live and be your authentic self. You're doing things daily that bring you happiness, that bring you joy. You're living as true to your authentic self as you possibly can. Sometimes we live life and we live it in a very, very safe manner where we're not willing to make the investments in ourselves. We're not willing to take the chance on ourselves that will make us the very best us or you that you could possibly be. So when we talk about living in your truth, it's important that you be honest with yourself. What makes you happy? What is it that inspires you to get up every day and to do your very best in everything that you do? That's a part of living in your truth. There are various areas that we can live on a regular basis that bring out the strength in who we are, that make us the best person that we can possibly be. And here's just a quote that I hope helps you. Strength comes from living your truth. To be true and authentic is your path to happiness, peace, and joy. You may be mocked by others, but they have no power over you, for you have discovered the power that is within. So it's important that you live within your truth. It's important that you take the time to recognize the truth of who you are. Again, we follow these safe and controlled rules that make us comfortable quite often. But when you live in your comfort zone, you're very rarely, if ever, putting yourself in a position where you can truly be honest with yourself. And here's one that's a little touchy. Some of us have some friends that are friends when they want to be friends, but not necessarily when we want them to be our friends, right? Part of living your truth is being honest with yourself. I have a number of associates. And a number of these associates, there are people that I talk with on perhaps a regular basis because of my involvement in various organizations, but we don't exchange Christmas cards. They don't know where I live. They haven't been to my home. And it's not because there's something wrong with them necessarily, but the truth in my life is they live within a certain compartment of my life. Some people I share most important things with. Some people I share things that are cursory, and that's okay. Don't allow someone to criticize you because they're not as close to you as they would like to be, nor as close to you as others say that they should be, right? You determine the value of your relationships. That's a major part of living in your truth. You were not designed to be everyone's friend. That's just real. You were not designed to be everyone's friend. So you can make a conscious decision living in your truth to determine the relationships that you want to bring close to you, or determine those relationships that you want to keep at an arm's length. And keeping people at an arm's length is not a negative thing. It's not a bad thing. But we so often get caught up in social media and the things that other people say relative to what real relationships are. We've got a number of real relationships. And every day we define how close we'll allow those persons to be, how close to our safety zone, our comfort zone, where are we willing to allow them to intrude or invade our space, right? So not everybody is designed to be your best friend. Have you ever been talking with someone or been out and you were introduced as their best friend, and then you feel like, oh, I wouldn't categorize you as my best friend. We're good friends. We spend a lot of quality time together, but I wouldn't categorize you as my best friend. It's important that you live in your truth to determine who you're going to allow in your inner circle. And there's a great deal of strength from living in your own inner circle and allowing those people to be in your perimeter that are necessary and important to be in your perimeter, in your space. Here's another quote that I want to share with you. Would you rather live your life according to the approval of others or aligned with your truth and your dreams? It's most important that you live in your truth. Everyone has dreams. We all have aspirations to be, to do, to experience. But if you want to be, do, and experience, it's important that you live within your truth. Let it be known that this is something that you truly want to do. Personally, one of the things that is on my bucket list is to have the opportunity to go to Africa on a speaking engagement. That's a truth for me. Now, if I share it with individuals, that sometimes encourages me to continue to work toward that end. But that's a risk. It's a calculated risk. Sometimes we have ambitions and great desires to do things, and we share them with the wrong people. And when you share it with the wrong people, they're more likely to criticize you negatively than offer constructive criticism. So a part of living in your truth is knowing how huge or how small your inner circle should be. Don't let other people pressure you into developing relationships with them that have more meaning for them than they have for you. Part of living in your truth is recognizing who you are, recognizing those things that happen in your life that add value or those things that take away. This life is short. Every one of us has an opportunity to be the best that we can possibly be. And if you're not living your best life now, it's important that you change the narrative. Last week, we talked about taking that inventory, the self-inventory, and now it's about living in your truth, encouraging you to live in your truth. That's something that you should say to yourself on a daily basis. Today, I want to live in my truth. So we're encouraging you, live in your truth. And if you need some support and helping you to ask some of those critical questions of yourself, to have some of those crucial conversations with yourself, please reach out to us. We're more than willing to help you. But remember, if you're going to change the narrative, start with the self-inventory and then start living in your truth. Until we meet again, this is Dr. Dez with the Bowtie Chronicles. Be encouraged.
I know they gon' remember me, 'cause I'm gon' leave a legacy.